Well, that's it for the night. I'm out of here. Well, good evening, Glue Troopers, and welcome back to the TARDIS. You know, it's so much easier to get some work done when this place is tidy up and you have now room to spread your stuff out. So I felt like doing a day build, so I did the little Robbie robot from Mobius, and I was told he's actually the robot from their Chariot model kit, and he's actually a pretty detailed little kit. It was a little more than I expected once I got into it. Had to be real careful filing off some of the little gate points and everything, but it went together without too much argument, and they give you 2 extra of the little glass pieces that go around his waist. They probably just did a 2-up. They had it set up to make 3, so they just did a 2-up, so you get 6. And that's great because it's an easy thing to break or drop and lose. But didn't lose any parts. Got him all together, and you're doing some pretty fine work in there, but got him all painted up. I really like the way it looks. He's up on the sci-fi shelf right now, and real happy with it. Also got to work on that Rodin DC-7, and I got to be honest with you, the thing has been a bit of a challenge. Nothing really fits that well, and this is, of course, for the Ukraine build. So I want to make it wheels up, because I'm going to give it to a friend, and I have a stand that I'm going to use. But the landing gear doors, the kit's made to be built wheels down. And I know we all know it's very common. Landing gear on an airplane or something on a car, a door or a window or something, they're made to be, wheels down or whatever, or something like that. It's often the component when you try to close it, like the gear doors, they don't really fit very well. And this is a horrible example of that. I had to do so much. I bet I cut 15-20% of the stuff off, and it still just wasn't right. So after getting one of them partially done, I was very disappointed with the way it looked, and I realized it was going to be a putty queen. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try something else. And the nose gear doors were bad enough, but the main gear doors were just atrocious. And I'm sure they look good when the model's open. And I thought about, well, you know what, I think I'm just going to make it out of stock styrene, use the others as a pattern. But even that there's nothing for it to get onto. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try an old trick I used to do as a kid. You ball up some paper or tape or something and wedge it in the void area, and then just slather a heavy coat of putty on, pat it down in place, give it a couple of days to harden, and then come in and sand it. Now, as we know, as much putty as went into this thing, it may take it a couple of days to harden, but I've left enough putty tubes with the cap off to know that it will in fact harden all the way through. But I don't know how well it's going to look when I'm done sanding it and everything, but this kit is such a aggravation. And I've had other people tell me that the Rodin kits fought them all the way, and I totally understand what they mean. But they make such cool subject matter. I mean, it's not mock too bad, but it's trying. But that being said, though, it's all to support the Ukraine build and everything. So that's done. Tomorrow, I'll probably get started on the APC from Aliens, and the Death Star. I'm got it put back together, and I have to. It's essentially a snap-tight kit, something that big with the standards of the day when that was made, and designed to sort of be a quasi-snap fit kit. It doesn't have a good seal anywhere, so a lot of Bondo went into this queen to seal everything up, and tomorrow I'll start sanding it down. And these, of course, the APC, the B9 robot, the Death Star, are all for the sci-fi build, and I've got a bunch of other kits here also I want to get started on. And now for something completely different. I was looking at the Mustang stacked here, and I realized that all of them except the one by AMT have the airplane pointed to the left, like you're seeing the port side, the left side, like it's going from right to left, whether it's parked or flying or taking off or whatever. One of them, the A&T kit, has it flying and it's actually going to the right, so you're seeing the starboard side. And I started looking around here in the TARDIS, and I realized that it was a lot of these, left, 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 right, left, 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 idle left, right, left. So sorry, that just made me decide I had to put this together. Apologies.
Left, 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 right, or left. 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 Left, 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 right, or left.
Well, there's no unseeing or unhearing that. Anyway, by the way, I decided to do a little research because right about the time I was making this great discovery, we had a tornado watch here. Actually, I think we had a tornado warning. And we looked at the weather, like, yep. So I jumped into the relative safety of my wood frame Florida ranch and waited it out. While I was there, I went ahead and started doing a little research, and I decided to use Revell 1/32 scale models as just sort of a research template. You guys all know I'm a huge fan of Jack Linwood's art, and I figured, well, let's see what Linwood did. You know, he's kind of the real grandfather of, you know, modern box art. And it looks like at a ratio of about kind of 8-to-5, something like that. The aircraft are usually going to the left. You're seeing, or excuse me, well, they're going to the left. You're seeing the left side of the aircraft. And of course, that was by no means an absolute. There were plenty of them going to the right, but there tended to be a trend towards that. And I realized that this has a lot to do with what the art director wants. So I shot an email off to Mike Machat, just, you know, get his feedback. Now, in the case of these Mustangs, it just happens to be like 7-to-1, and they're from several different manufacturers. We've got Tamiya, we've got Monogram, Revell, the Profi Pack from Edward, and of course the AMT kit. So I don't know if each art director has a preference, or they think maybe, you know, coming from a certain angle has a better sales appeal or something, or gives it a more dramatic look. But I'm just kind of curious what brought that about. And it was, you know, just one of those things. And it could just be coincidence. There may not be any rhyme or reason to it. At first, I thought, my gosh, looking up here on the wall, virtually everything I have up here on the wall is going to the left. And I'm sitting here looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 box arts. Oh, there's one behind that wing. 26 box arts, and only, well, you got that little Revell 3-in-1 kit where one's going right and two are going left. But, well, you know what? Let's just call that 27, 28, 29. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Only 3 of them are going to the right. Everything else is going to the left. Well, I looked up here on the wall. There are 29 images. 1 boat, 28 aircraft. And of them, the boat and 3 aircraft are going to the right. Everything else is going to the left or angled that way. So, I wonder what gives. Now, this does not apply so much to the World War I aircraft. I noticed that a lot of the World War I box art, it's more or less an even split. And again, maybe just pure coincidence, or maybe they want to be able to put them on the shelves with everything going the same direction, or maybe there's, since most people are right-handed, something about the brain sees an aircraft going right to left. It was just, it's total curiosity on my point. I have no idea. I just thought it was kind of an interesting thing, because that's how my mind works. Anyway, well, okay, I'm out of stuff to talk about. You guys take care of yourselves, as always. Model on. do you call that thing? Well, there's no unseeing that. I was just going through trying to figure out, is there a reason? I actually, well, I'm not really out of stuff. I just can't think of anything at the moment. Or this will drag on forever. Forever they'll be stuck listening to me. Oh, the poor souls. Lord have mercy.